In this video, we're going to be looking at data binding and XML. If you have never heard the term data binding and don't know what XML is, it's more than likely that you don't really need to watch this video, and Composer will generally take care of most of these things for you. However, if XML is important to you, please keep listening. So when somebody types information into one of the fields in one of your forms, that information is actually stored inside the form in a hidden area in a format called XML, or Extensible Markup Language. It's a very flexible way of storing data, and it's very well suited to form data capture. You never really see that when you're designing the form. However, when this form is submitted via email or via a submission directly to a website, the information from the form will be submitted in XML format. If you're never going to be submitting the data from your form, if you're only using the form to perform data entry followed by print, then there is no need for you to worry about XML or data binding at all. What I'd like to do is just add one more field into the form, point something out to you. I'm just going to add a checkbox into the selection section. And this is going to be called Send Me Special Offers. This is an opt-in marketing campaign. What I'd like to do is just point out that, and I'm just unchecking this so that you can see it better, Composer will automatically generate a name for you. And every single object within Composer has a name. Either the name that gets automatically generated or a name that you can specify. And this name is very important because it affects the underlying XML structure that will be generated for you. We'll come back to that in a little while. Let's save this and preview the form. Let's type some information into the form. Oops. You'll notice that because this is a phone number field, the field is automatically formatted when I tab out of the field. I'll select my desired gift. I'm a fan of coffee. And I'm going to check the checkbox that says Send Me Special Offers. Then I'm going to hit the email submit button. This could also be a HTTP submit button. Let's see what happens. I'm going to use my desktop application, say yes. It's going to compose an email with the underlying XML data as part of this email. Now, I'm not actually going to send this email. I'm just going to double click on the XML to see what the data looks like. I'm going to take you very quickly through the anatomy of this XML file, although I'll try and avoid going into too much detail. The top two lines we can ignore. These are about the XML file itself and the fact that it comes from Adobe Reader in XML format. We can similarly ignore the bottom of the file, which is again injected by Adobe Reader and the rendering engine for this form. We can largely ignore them. The bit that your IT department are going to be interested in is this bit that starts with Avoka SmartForm, ends with Avoka SmartForm, and has in the middle the applicant with their name, given name, family name, contact phone number. Notice, by the way, that the phone number is exactly as I typed it, not as it was formatted on the screen. So what we get in the XML data, if you like, is the raw data, not necessarily the data as we would see it on the screen after display formats have been added, brackets, spaces, and things like that, $signs for numeric fields. My gift is a coffee mug, and special offers is true. So you might show that XML snippet to your IT department. They may say, that looks fantastic. Nothing more to do, we can work with that, and very often that is the case. And all you had to do was ensure that the names that you provided, or the names that were generated when the form was built, are appropriate, and you will get out an XML structure that follows the overall structure of your form, but in a simplified way that conforms to XML naming guidelines. So what do I do if I want to change the element name that is used to describe or to wrap around a particular field in the XML file? Well, very simply, all I need to do is change the name. Changing the name, let's first find out what the current name is. For example, if I wanted to change the XML element name from given name to first name, double click on given name, and that will tell me that this is, if I look in the title bar, that this is a field whose name is given name of type text field. The label is given name. In order to change the name, I simply right click on the object, select rename field. In this case, I can leave the label as given name and simply change the actual name to first name, and I'm done. The XML that is generated, the form is still identical, and this is one of the real benefits of using XML, is that the form can remain exactly the same, and the data can change, or the data can be changed to suit your IT department, and the form can be kept the same. So in this case, I've changed the way that the data is structured, but I've left the form identical. In the next video, we'll look at some more advanced techniques of tweaking and tuning the way that the generated XML file is produced.